kept saying to myself every single day during pre-production, production, and post-production is you don't want to make a sequel that sucks. And that was what my biggest fear was to make a sequel that sucked. And that's what motivated me during the coldest nights shooting on the streets of New York and doing some of the frustrating, stunts and things like that. It was like, you can't make it suck. You can't make it suck. It's got to be better and bigger than the first one. And I honestly think we succeeded.
I do too. Like I said at the beginning, this is one of the best sequels ever. It's so much bigger, and the stunts are so front and center. It works as much as a horror movie as it does an action movie. Was that always the idea?
Yeah, well, the idea was, of course, the Maniac Cop idea is sort of a hybrid of a lot of genres that I love. It's a supernatural cop thriller, film noir, a bit of comedy, a bit of black comedy in it. It just is, I love it because also I have Leo Rossi, the serial killer, playing, I call him Igor. I kind of modeled him after Son of Frankenstein, Bela Lugosi. I had him, my white trash Igor. And his lair was even supposed to look like a Universal set. So I just kind of mixed up all this stuff. It's so wacky, the concept and everything of this kind of zombie cop and set in modern day urban environment, that in order to make it, I feel, work, it had to move fast. Because it's so stupid that you can't give anybody time to think about it. So you just want to go from one thing to another, to another, to another, and kind of just keep a momentum going and enough eye candy so people don't stop and think about it. And hopefully by the end you've kind of pulled it off and everyone feels as though they got a decent ride for 90 minutes.
I never questioned it. We had Jim Glickenhaus here last week with Shakedown, and we were talking about kind of the difficulty of shooting these elaborate stunt set pieces like on location in New York City. How was it shooting these? These are pretty crazy.
Well, Jim Glickenhaus, financed the first Maniac Cop. How was it? It was, well, the big stunts were really shot in Los Angeles. We didn't shoot we shot the girl on the car and all that in West New York. Interesting, that shooting of the car with the sparks on the rims and everything. The reason we got away with shooting in West New York, it was just before Christmas, and we had all these off-duty cops on our payroll to kind of block the streets and everything. So all these cops were like looking at us as their Christmas money. And so we got away with shooting in the middle of the night in a mostly residential area, jumping cars on sidewalks, crashing through windows, all because we kind of had the cops in our pocket. It was a moment. It was funny. The first day of shooting, the car prop company forgot to change out the gas tank in the cab for what's called a gas cell, which only holds maybe a liter of gasoline. So we started shooting the scene where the sparks are flying off the rims of the wheel, and which was done with sparklers, by the way. It wasn't actually rubbing the rims on the street. Suddenly, the fire department shows up just as the gas tank in the car burst into flames. They immediately shut us down, and I didn't think we were going to be able to continue shooting because we had done such a stupid thing. But the cops were so behind us, and they didn't want to lose their Christmas money. So we fixed this, we remedied the situation and continued shooting.
Do you have any questions in the audience?
Did the fire department need Christmas money too?
No, I don't remember greasing the fire department. I just remember the cops. And they were like, oh, go, Bill, go ahead, shoot. Another day, oh, no problem. Go ahead. And they shot that. Those were like major roads in New Jersey. God, I feel like I'm being interrogated.
Hey Bill, what's up? Yeah, I was just, first of all, this has always been my favorite movie of yours, so it was cool seeing
It
it
is
on big
for mine
screen.
too.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
it's
been
actually my
announced.
favorite film.
Yeah, I mean, I've always thought it's just a killer B movie. Which brings me to my question, which is, what do you make of contemporary sort of manufactured cult movies? You know, like Grindhouse, Machete, that sort of a thing. Those are the movies that are kind of trying to capture the kind of movies that you were making, but
Well,
to me they always come off as like kind of artificial.
Honestly, which films are you talking about? Like Blumhouse? Did
Well,
you?
like Machete and
Machete.
Grindhouse and that sort of a thing.
Well, I guess the only thing my only criticism of some of the films is they rely so much on CGI that I no longer feel there's any jeopardy, and I don't really get scared. I kind of like the analog filmmaking that we have in something like Maniac Cop, even though I know, for instance, we could have perfected the fire stunt at the end had we had CGI available and all the rest. But there are a lot of good genre films being made. It's not like the best ones were made when I was making them or something. There were a lot of good ones, but there's a movie coming out in a couple of weeks called Raw. I don't know if it's going to play here. Is it going to play?
Yeah, it opens here on March 31st, and tickets go on sale on Friday.
Okay, well,
So we're going to plug that.
I have no stake in the movie, and all I can tell you is it's a great horror film if you guys are into horror. And there have been some really good movies. I mean, I like Don't Breathe. I thought Don't Breathe was a terrific movie. Oh God, I even like that movie with Blake Lively, where she's being shallow.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of like that movie. I thought that was a fun movie.
Did you watch Get Out yet?
Not yet. I want to see it. God damn it! I gotta go see it. I wanted to come here early to go see it. I couldn't make it, but I really want to go see that. That's high on my list.
Anybody else?
I've always been curious about the reason for the split production between New York and LA. Was this
Cost.
necessary?
It's a cost issue. LA is more geared towards stunts and special effects and things like that. Also, it is cheaper to shoot in LA than it is in New York. But we did shoot about 2 weeks of Maniac Cop 2 in New York, as opposed to the first one where we only shot for 3, maybe 4 days.
Was that the Customs House?
Yes, the one where Bruce Campbell comes out of?
Yeah.
And it was cold. I remember that. I was on the crane, and my legs, when the crane came down, I couldn't feel them. When I went to step off the crane, oh God, that was tough. Cold, cold, cold.
Oh.
Seems to be the story of my life of shooting in New York. I never shoot like summer. I'm always shooting in dead of winter, and it's usually record temperature.
Yeah, in the back.
The restoration of the film is great.
Yeah, it was a 4K
Yeah,
scan of the original camera negative.
but I agree with what you said before. The stunt with the flames, the fact that it was done in, like you said, analog, not relying on CGI. You felt that whole thing. Yeah.
Good, I'm glad. I have to. A big credit's got to be given to Spiro Rosatos. He was a stunt coordinator. I gave him actually his first gig on Maniac Cop, and he's since gone on to do little movies like The Fast and the Furious, Captain America. I could go on and on. His credits are like the top Hollywood action films. He's the stunt coordinator, second unit director. You'll see his name on all those movies. And he started out with doing Maniac Cop. And what you see in Maniac Cop 2 was Spiro and I used to frequent there was a cinema in Chinatown in LA called the Quowa Cinema. And we used to go there to see the Jackie Chan, John Woo movies and the Joey Hark films. And so a lot of the inspiration for the gags you see in Maniac Cop 2 come from those movies.
Do you have any memories you could share about working with Robert
Oh God, he was a sweetheart. I have a funny story about Robert Zadar. We're shooting that scene in the police station, that Terminator style shootout in the police station, and it was it's one of those scenes that it's a hurry up and then you have to set up, and it takes forever to get all the effects set up, the camera angles and everything else. Zadar was stuck wearing that makeup because he's in every single setup. And one day I'm resting, one night actually, it was like 3 a.m. I'm trying to take a little nap in one of the dressing rooms, and I'm half asleep, and in walks Robert Zadar, full makeup, full costume, sits on a little tiny folding chair across from me. I'm laid down with my head on the pillow. He's hanging his head down going, Bill, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it. This makeup is driving me crazy. He goes, he said, the food and stuff is falling between the makeup and my skin. And it's really, I want to just rip it off. And I go, no, Robert, you can't rip off the makeup. You can't rip off the makeup. And then I had to start talking to Robert. Hawaii, you and your girlfriend, I'll get you tickets for Hawaii. You can go there and you'll forget all about this, but don't rip that makeup off. Please don't rip it off. And I had to talk him off the ledge. But he was a sweet man, he really was. And I miss him.
Thanks.
I gotta say one thing. You had a whole group of actors there that, you don't know the names, but that's who's that again? You had like a group that was just below, the big list.
Okay.
And there was another.
I'm sure they'll be all happy to hear that.
It's true though, right? I mean, these were all character actors, right?
Yeah, I mean, I always, well, first I couldn't afford, movie stars.
Right.
And movie stars are not inclined to do Maniac
But
Cop 2.
you did pretty good, what you did do.
Well, yeah, I mean, these are quality actors. I mean, just because they're not major celebrities. But, Robert Davi, when I hired him for Cop 2, it was kind of funny. We were in pre-production on Maniac Cop 2 and a legal problem arose, and we had to stop pre-production. And so I went off to Paris, and I'm hanging out in Paris because I didn't want to stay home and have the crew calling me every other hour. When is the movie starting? When is the movie starting? And I was visiting the distributor of the first Maniac Cop. And I was walking up the Champs-Élysées, and I knew Robert Davi. I wasn't friends with him, but I knew him. And I saw that he was in License to Kill, playing the bad guy. And I go, oh, that's really good for Robert. Really, it's very good for him. And I go off to my meeting with the French distributor, and they asked me, of course, about Maniac Cop 2. And then they asked the question that everyone always asks, who's in it? And I said, Robert Davi. Oh, Robert Davi. They got all excited. And I go, oh, shit. So after the lunch, I go back to my hotel, and I call my office, and I said, you got to track down Robert Davi and get him the script of Maniac Cop 2.
Well, he's in the news right now.
What's that?
He's actually in the news right now.
Oh, I know.
with
Not
Trump.
maybe in the best of way, but
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Anybody else? Yes.
Bill, I heard there may be a remake.
There's a reboot of the Maniac Cop series that's being worked on right now. It was written by Ed Brubaker. Some of you may know him. And it's being produced by myself and Nicholas Winding Refn. And it's being directed by John Himes. He did the Universal Soldier, those recent Universal Soldier films that were pretty cool.
Anybody else? Yeah.
How you feel about remakes when they're doing now with all the...
Well, the remake was made of my movie Maniac.
Yeah.
And, I mean, to be honest, I made a shitload of money from it. I mean, I'm not too opposed to it. You know? And when Maniac reboot happens, you know, I won't be starving. So that's how I feel about it. Generally speaking, I'm not crazy about remakes and reboots. I'm not crazy about sequels. But there have been some that have been good, and some arguably better. I mean, I always thought the remake of Philip Kaufman, his remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, was as good as the original. So, I mean, it's not always a negative, but it can be. Most times it is.
Let me ask you one thing. This is a test.
Okay?
Okay?
And what do I get if I pass?
I don't know. I mean, listen. The original thing
Yes.
or the remake? You pick.
Well, you know, the ending of Maniac Cop 2 was inspired by the first thing.
Yeah.
We actually kind of stole it. It was, the beats were the same. I don't know. I like the original. I kind of like the original. I like John Carpenter's, but, you know, I don't have a real, I think both are really good.
Yeah, I think the original was the best.
Okay.
But you passed.
All right, good.
Good time. One more question.
Before I melt, this light will be here.
Yeah,
You got to
it's
do
all
something
bad.
about it.
So bad. Who's got the last question tonight?
Little subtle light from below me. Anybody have a question?
I'll
We
see
can't
what
even
they-
see you if you do.
Okay, right there.
Would you like to see a picture of a Maniac Cop cosplay?
Of what?
A Maniac Cop 2 cosplay. Are you familiar with what
Oh!
cosplaying is?
Oh, yeah. Somebody got dressed up?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, check this out. This was at the East Coast Comic Con last year.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that bitchin'?
That is really cool.
Isn't that cool?
That's cool. We can't project it for you.
The club pulled out into
Wow.
the sword. It's very
Amazing.
Maybe you can send the URL to you guys.
Cool. Oh, yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you for coming. Really, I appreciate it.
Bill's going to be back April 25th. We're going to show a 35mm print of Relentless.
Yes! I love that movie!
Oh,
Hope
good.
to see you guys all here for that.
All right. Well, thank you for coming.
Why is that?